Back here at home, 1 in 8 women struggles with infertility. New numbers from the CDC shows that 7.3 million Americans have used infertility services. While many companies are adding right now those services to healthcare plans, a lot of insurance companies don't cover it at all, leaving some couples going deep into debt trying to have a child. But the payment for doctor bills is just a small part of the cost that comes with starting a family for couples struggling to get pregnant. In this Color 10 investigation tonight, anchor Heather Lewis looks at diagnosing the options and cost and outcomes that women in Springfield determined to grow their families.
The sound of a baby crying, something Angela Crawford waited 3 years to hear.
I definitely am one of the lucky ones, but if you'd known me with the 3 years that we were trying, you would not have called me the lucky one.
The journey of infertility was not one Angela and her husband were expecting. After all, about 85% of couples will be able to conceive after 12 months of trying. That's according to Dr. Mary Duff with the Farrell Duncan Clinic.
Things like endometriosis, uterine fibroids, polycystic ovarian syndrome, or simply very irregular menstrual cycles. For any of those things, you should be coming in as soon as you're open to conception. There's no need to wait 12 months.
The first step is evaluating the couple, making sure the woman is ovulating.
Did some labs and she noticed that my progesterone was low, so then we tried this medication 1 month and then we adjusted it the next month and adjusted things the next month. Turns out I have PCOS. Also throughout our journey, we got my husband a test at one point in time. The urologist said he was fine, just take some vitamin D. Well, when we got further into testing with our reproductive endocrinologist, he actually had low motility and it was a bigger concern than what we were led to believe.
In fact, the CDC shows infertility is about 8% a male factor. In June of 2015, at the age of 30, Angela and her husband decided to start in vitro fertilization.
I had checked with my insurance and I learned that I had coverage, which is nice because IVF procedures cost in the ballpark of $25,000 just for the procedure that normally doesn't include meds.
Common infertility expenses include genetic testing, semen analysis, fertility drugs, intrauterine insemination, in vitro fertilization, frozen embryo transfer, assisted reproductive technology, and storing frozen embryos. It took about 7 months for Angela to go through the process.
To prepare myself, because they had to do labs on me and ultrasounds, to do the injections. And keep in mind, when I did my round of IVF, I had to go up to St. Louis every other day for about 3 weeks just to have a blood draw.
Washington University was one of the few hospitals in network with Angela's insurance, but it's in St. Louis, which is 3 hours away.
I did the math because there was also some lost wages. I had to take PTO for this, or I would just take unpaid time from work.
With insurance, one IVF treatment costs Angela $2,400 out of pocket. Lost wages, $2,100, for a total of about $4,500. Invoices from the hospital and missing work, though, might not compare to the emotional and physical toll the process takes.
Well, if you have a fear of needles, you get over it pretty quickly because you're doing 2 to 3 injections a day. These are all hormone medications, and so you take a person that's already in a pretty rough emotional state, and then you just throw hormones on top of that, and it can really just crank things up to an 11. It makes things really hard and depressing.
Flash forward to today, and the aches and pains of the process don't compare to the joy of being the mother to not 1 but 2 children, all thanks to successful in vitro fertilization. In Springfield, Heather Lewis, Ozarks First.
And of course, Heather just shared with us there some positive results from someone who went through in vitro fertilization. But what happens when the first round is unsuccessful, or maybe your insurance doesn't cover it at all? Maybe surprised to learn about some of the other options available. Heather has part 2 of this report coming up tomorrow on Color 10 News at 10.